spanner for the door handles down here.
Yes.
They're brilliant.
Drawers under here for storing all this extra toys and things, little lights.
Look at the lights.
I like to have a room like for myself.
And all your toys, the pictures.
These you can throw on the ground for when you're climbing up the climbing frame. So just in case he did slip, then he wouldn't hurt himself. Can you climb up here? Can you swing on this?
Yeah.
Go on then.
I'd say it's a hit.
Is a hit, yeah.
I wish it was my room. I wish it was my room.
Here they come.
Brian. Congratulations. Still friends, are we? Still friends.
Yeah, he's been up the down there, he's been up the climbing wall. I don't have any adults, we're away for a good old play. Join us again soon on Changing Rooms. Bye-bye.
Brand new here on UK Style next, Marge Ruffman comes direct from Canada to advise on all kinds of DIY and repair solutions. A repair to remember is in a couple of minutes.
New on UK Style.
What I love about House Invaders is that money is no option.
Our aim is to make the most of all your leftover bits of paint, fabric and timber.
Exactly, and we get to see all that lovely junk people keep over the years. Look what I found in your garage!
And we get to do that Charlie's Angels thing at the beginning of each show.
House Invaders, weeknights at 10:30 on UK Style.
Dear Lord, please help Jennifer to be funny tonight.
Can't, because I'm too
No, you're not. No, darling, you're not that old.
No, I'm not too old.
You're not going to do the elephant again.
Chocolate?
Yeah.
Yeah. You promise?
Yeah.
What's that supposed to be?
Coleslaw.
That's not coleslaw, that's a cry for help.
I put in a bit of carousel and martyr as well.
That's Saturday from 8 on UK Gold. The House Invaders are doing things up for nothing in half an hour. First, a brand new series on UK Style with Marge Ruffman, a repair to remember.
You wanna build something no one can tear down. We got the tools to do it. We're gonna break some ground. We fit together, we're symbiotic. Minds connecting like a dovetail joint. We'll create something beautiful and strong. Play on, play on. You wanna build something. You wanna break some ground.
Hi, I'm Meg Ruffman. This time, I'm going to take you on a tour around the leaky basement and also show you how to patch a cracked wall. Basements are a mysterious underground world. And the best thing would be if they made basements with glass walls, because then you could have like a giant worm farm. But unfortunately, builders don't have a whole lot of imagination, so they just use good old cinder block. Now, basements are noted for their dampness. And there are two kinds of dampness. There's the seepage problem, which you can see down here. There's been water come through this wall. And the way to tell that you've had a seepage problem is that there's usually a salt deposit left on the wall. You can have seepage, or you can have actually too much vapor in the air in the basement, so that humidity just ends up condensing on the wall, and that's why the wall feels damp. So here's the test to figure out which it is that you have. Take a piece of plastic, heavy plastic with no holes in it, like a garbage bag is good, and tape it to the wall when the wall is dry, so that when you come back and notice that the walls are damp, check your patch. If it's wet on the inside underneath the patch, you have a seepage problem. If it's just damp on the outside, you have a condensation problem, and they're very different. And let me tell you why. You see, seepage is coming from the outside. Condensation is usually coming from the dryer, from a bad duct on the dryer, or it's coming from perhaps a shower that's in the basement that doesn't have proper ventilation. So let's go over here. Most common culprit, if your basement air is too humid, is a dryer duct that isn't fastened properly either to the dryer or to the outlet in the wall. So check, you usually have to horse your dryer out and check behind it to make sure that the connection is tight, and check in the wall too. This one's doing really well. It's quite sound. And then also check the piping itself, the ducting, to make sure that it's intact, because they get brittle and they often split. If everything's okay with the dryer duct, also consider the fact that you might have a shower in the basement that is just spewing moist air into the environment without actually being vented properly with a ceiling fan. So think about that too. If you've thought about all these things and none of them apply to you, then we have to go outside, because what you have is a drainage problem. You're in big trouble, but not really, because this is what we repair types live for. Okay, let's go. While we're thinking about ducting, we should check the outside of the house where that duct comes out, and sure enough, it's got problems. So I just always carry a spare dryer cap for these emergencies. So what we have to do is take it off. And the reason we want to replace it is because birds will come and nest in here. There's a perfect little nesting spot. Whoa! Teasing. Okay, so what I'm going to do is put on my work gloves. And choose an implement. This thing's probably glued onto the wall with some kind of caulking, and it's also, I can see, stapled. So let me just get the staples out, or at least up. Oh, that's got it. Another one up here by the feel of it. Well, if the repair just gets too picky, I say use brute force. So you get your really big bar, and you start to horse that baby right off the wall. So I'm just going to get rid of some of this fine lint. So that we have a clean surface to put the new one on. Nothing like having a spare dryer cap in your tool bucket. So that's going to fit in nicely. So I have my my spare caulking done with me, and I'm just going to run a bead of caulk around the inside of the dryer cap so that it'll glue it on. right. See, this is the way this is built. This little thing flaps when there's an exhaust thing happening, but birds can't get into it and try to breed in there. There we go. And just to be thorough, to make this seal really good, I'm going to caulk around the outside of it too. I just gobbed it a bit over here, so I'm just gonna wipe it up with my rag. Now that caulking will be set up in about 48 hours max, so just don't use the dryer right away because the heat will impede the curing process. Okay, on we go. When you have seepage problems in your foundation, the first place to look is your roof. Now, there are thousands of gallons of water that fall on your roof every year. If things are working properly, the water rolls down off the roof, into the gutters, down the downspout, and either into the sewer, or the water's carried away from your foundation 5 to 8 feet minimum. If things are not working properly, there are a couple of dead giveaways. So check. When it's raining hard, go outside your house with an umbrella and stand and look around and see if there are any gutters that are overflowing. This one's actually starting to tear away from the flashing, so I need to pound these nails back in. And the gutters themselves are full of flotsam and jetsam, which just backs up in the, you can see actually that the downspout is starting to clog up around the mouth of it. So this is no darn good. So there are a couple of things that I want to show you how to do. First thing is, if you don't want to stand out in the middle of a rainstorm with your umbrella, get out your trusty hose with a nozzle attachment and just fill the gutters up. Trying not to soak yourself in the process. And then you can start to check and see if the gutters are sound. Now I could go on doing this, but you got the idea. So I'll just put this back in my trusty holster. Now you need to clean your gutters out spring and fall because they get full of debris that clogs up the downspouts. If you don't think you're that kind of a person, there are other techniques that you can use. So come right with me and I'll show you.
Tune in for Gary Rhodes' New British Classics, Monday nights at 9 on UK Style.
Buy your glasses at Dolland & Aitchison and get a free pair of prescription sunglasses.
Marvellous.
Would someone you know enjoy doing this? Call us now and you can give them an Acorn Sports gift voucher for a truly unforgettable experience. Like an introductory course in a single-seater racing car or rally car, or maybe a flying or gliding lesson. Prices start at just £59 and vouchers are valid nationwide. Call now for your free brochure on 0800 448876. That's 0800 448876.
Experience the ride that ends on the other side. X just unearthed at Alton Towers.
Collect the tokens in the Express and Sunday Express and you could win this beautiful new retro home. It comes with a new Mitsubishi Space Wagon absolutely free.
Plus an exotic foreign holiday for the family and £10,000 a year for the rest of your life.
Thank you. Okay, bye.
It's more than just a new home, it's a whole new life.
Shake up your life, starting tomorrow in the 25p Express.
freshness sensations from our unique built-in conditioner, bowls bound to give you a buzz.
Oh dear. Because it's always the same person who ends up changing the toilet roll, Charmin introduced new double roll. 2 rolls of Charmin in one, wound tight to fit your holder. With Charmin's unique texture, you now get a comfortable, clean feeling that lasts twice as long. New Charmin double roll. Double the comfortable, clean feeling.
Natural, not too perfect. Full and curly. Beautiful hair is a matter of opinion. How you get it is a matter of fact. It starts with healthy looking hair, the kind you get from Pantene shampoo, conditioners and styling products. They give hair all it needs to be beautiful, whatever that is. Love your hair, Pantene.
Tempo asks, when you have a cold, is one tissue tough enough?
2 will probably all right.
Will you test these man-sized tissues? You can even take 2.
It's splitting. Oh, he's blown a hole in the tissue. Very embarrassing.
New Tempo Plus. Its 4 plies make it twice as strong as any other box tissue. It has a touch of aloe vera and it's soft too.
Oh, these feel better already.
It's very strong, actually. I must have a blow in it.
Yes, it's lovely and smooth.
New Tempo Plus. All the softness, twice the strength.
Game start. You've selected the new non-applicator Tampax, designed for maximum comfort. Tampax, the game never stops. Why should you?
There is a place where lifetimes become moments, moments become stories, and all the stories you have ever loved are here. UK drama, because life is a story, and drama is life.
Every night from 7, UK Drama, a new channel dedicated to the best of British drama.
This is a piece of gutter that I'm working on. You can use, if you find that there are lengths of gutter that are unseated, you can put this stuff called gutter sealant on them. It works on vinyl or aluminum or galvanized metal, whatever kind of gutters you have. Gutter sealant will repair holes, gaps, problems. They make these little strainers for downspouts. They're inserted into the top of the downspout, and they're adjustable. So if your downspout is a really huge downspout, you can make it bigger. And this one happens to be very modest in size, so I'm going to size this down. And it's seated just at the top of the downspout. Now, when flotsam tries to clog up this drain, it can't get past this guy, and yet moisture can still go down through the top here. So it's a great little device. Also, if you're just not the type to clean out your gutters twice a year, they make this stuff. There's a couple of models, a couple of different installation types. This is just gutter webbing, and it attaches at the back like this. So you would go along and attach these clips, and they have to be tightened down with pliers. But they work really well because they just fold over and protect the whole length of your gutter from getting leaves and all sorts of debris in them. So you really don't ever have to clean them out, which is a very cool thing. This is another kind of the same thing. It's a bit more awkward to install. It's flexible plastic. You have to slide it up under the shingles. And it works okay, but it tends to collapse, and I like the rigid stuff better myself. I can't emphasize how important it is to keep your gutters cleaned out. So I want to just go back up there and reattach that piece that's coming away from the flashing. So it's come loose from the flashing. It's anchored by these two, well, a lot of nails all the way down the line, but these two are loose for some reason. And then, of course, the obligatory, it's not going anywhere. You always have to finish your gutter repairs with that little that little motto. Just like gutters, downspouts should be intact and unclogged. And I beg of you, make sure that your downspouts are exiting away from the foundation. I mean, the whole point of gutters and downspouts is to protect your foundation. In this case, water leaves the downspout, flows through the brick into the foundation and onto the basement floor. It's not really very protected, is it, that poor foundation? So you can buy these black plastic extenders that will extend the length of your downspout, and they attach really easily, and that's a good way to get a little bit more length on a downspout that is exiting too close to the foundation. Here's another one. This downspout is a little bit better. There's an elbow here, it comes under the deck and exits over here. So that's about 4 feet, which is acceptable compared to the last one. But it's not perfect, but it's acceptable. Okay, so we've got a bit more to see here. Another place where moisture problems can occur is around doors and windows. This is a door, and this has been caulked really nicely. The caulking's a bit dirty and dusty now, but it's still holding really, really well. It's adhered tightly to both sides of the joint. So this is not our problem in this case. This is looking very good, but come with me. Also check to see that the slope next to your house is graded away from the foundation. In other words, what we have here is the dead opposite of what you would want. Here, there's high ground sloping to low ground, so water runs from the high ground right against the foundation and then into the basement. The ideal situation is if it sloped the other way from high to low, and the rule of thumb is about 1/4 inch to the foot down away from the foundation. If your land is graded like this, you're going to have constant moisture and pressure flowing into the basement and possibly causing cracks in the cinder block walls. So let's go inside and take a look at what you can do about that. If the problem is that you actually have visible cracks in your foundation walls, we fix. It's very simple. You simply use this marvelous product called Quick Plug, which could be used for many, many things, including visiting relatives, but we won't do that today because that would be mean. Now, this is the kind of job where you need some protective equipment, and I'll tell you why. We're going to be using cold chisels today. These are various different kinds of cold chisels. They're heavy. If you miss when you're hammering on the end of them, it really hurts badly. So this is why I favor the professional model. This design has been perfected by masons who really know what they're doing and who really hit themselves hard. So this is a very good tool to have. And also the plastic absorbs the vibration as you're pounding on it. So I've plugged the drains with, if you can find the plugs for your utility sink, you're a better man than I, but I use socks. I just put socks in because you don't want concrete chips going down your drain. So we have the chisel. Oh. Before you even put on your work gloves, you get to wear these stylish glasses because there's going to be chips flying everywhere. Huh? Is that good? Okay. This is the chiseling technique. What we have to do, because this quick plug stuff expands when you put it into the crack, so you want to chisel out an inverted V so that it's narrower at the surface than it is at the back. It takes a lot of work, but let me get us started so you can see what's involved. So you put the chisel in, and actually this mortar's really flaky, but we'll give it a whack anyway and see what happens. I'm using a framing hammer. It has teeth in the head so that it catches better. It doesn't slide all over the place. Okay, here we go. Oh, this is fascinating, isn't it? It's getting pretty good now. Oh, that was a tasty little inhale. Okay, there we have it. It's ready to go. Now, the hydraulic patch stuff, this concrete cement stuff, what do you call it? Hydraulic cement. It sets up in 3 to 5 minutes, so you don't want to be mixing it up ahead of the job and then coming back to it at this point. You take a break, clear away your tools, and then go mix up this stuff, which I'm about to do. I've changed my gloves so that I can work with the wet stuff now, because this stuff burns when you get it on you, so you want to have some latex gloves. And this is a coffee cup filled with water, and I'm just going to put some moisture into this crevice that we've created here, because you can actually use hydraulic cement when there's water physically moving through the walls and coming out the cracks. So, and it also takes away the remainder of the dust. We don't want any dust or the stuff doesn't hold. All right, so now I'm just going to read this to you because it enforces the dramatic kind of quality of this stuff. When mixed according to directions, hydraulic cement sets up extremely fast, becoming rock hard in 3 to 5 minutes. So we're going to have to work quite quickly here. So I'm going to pour this into my little tray. And then I'm going to add, I'm just kind of going for a consistency thing here. So it's not, I'm not measuring it. And it's 3 to 1 powder to water. And I've got it way too wet, so I'm going to add some more powder, hoping that I get the right consistency before it becomes rock hard in 3 to 5 minutes. Okay, this is getting pretty good now. You'll notice I'm still wearing my special safety glasses. That's because, like I said, this stuff burns if you get it on your skin or in your eyes, so not being one for burning eyes. Okay, here I go. I got my trowel. I'm just going to start plugging this crack. And it's going to drop out and be messy, but that's okay because I've got my drop cloth down. Oh, it's starting to set up, but it's still okay because I really made it quite wet. So I'm trying not to put too much all over the wall. And I'm going to feather it with my trowel so that, now they say that you can actually just check that it's gone in by using a gloved hand and pushing the stuff in, which is a good idea because see how much farther it went in? Okay, so now I'm just going to clean up around the crack. And I want it to be flush with the wall. This stuff is expanding, as I mentioned, so it will, it'll start to bulge out, and we'll have to trim it up later. If you really want a hot dog, you can put in the, see how the mortar is kind of, has a nice kind of pointed quality. So we'll just do that just for fun. There we go. They'll never know we patched it. So this stuff cures in about 45 minutes, and at that point we'll come back and we'll just, if it's kind of gone puffy on us, we'll use the cold chisel again and just chip it away so that it looks really, really posh. I have to go clean this out now because it's going to become rock hard in about 30 seconds. Okay then. Have you ever sat bolt upright in the middle of the night and thought, what are they going to do with all the used audio tape now that CDs have become the medium of choice? Well, let me tell you, I crochet my used audio tape into attractive tool cozies. Tool cozies baffle tool burglars, and they keep the dust off your tools. After all, it's magnetic tape we're using here. Not only that, let me just show you a thing or two about audio tape tool cozies. This will be the chromium dioxide, this black trim here on the cordless drill, and then this is the usual low-grade audio tape. This is 8-track, one of my favorite materials to crochet with. That's Tony, Orlando, and Dawn, actually right there. I like to display the tape. Now this 8-track crochets up really sturdy, and I want to tell you one other use for these cozies. When they're not on your tools, this drill just hates to part with its cozy. When they're not on your tools, they ought to be on your feet, and I'll tell you why. No dust bunny is safe when you've got one of these audio tape slippers on. You can just cruise around the house. Dust bunnies get caught in these little natural crevasses in the...
Easy, bastard. Oh, my good God. We'll take you to the cleaners.
$20,000, open.
30,000. Back to you.
Pressure on the atmosphere. I heard it on the radio.